Are you planning a trip to the Faroe Islands? If you're a lover of beautiful surroundings and wildlife, be sure to include a trip to Mykines, a remote island with breathtaking views and an abundance of puffins in your itinerary. The process of booking a ferry is straightforward, and you can do it all online. There are tour companies offering full-service tours that include your ferry passage, but in our experience, making our own agenda was simple. Make sure to choose a date for your ferry tickets early in your trip in case of weather cancellations, as they happen often, and you'll want to rebook later in your trip if that happens. Booking ahead is essential during the summer season. We saw many people get turned away. You can buy your tickets online starting around April. If your ideal date is sold out, don't give up. They will create a wait list and will add an extra trip to the timetables in peak season if 25 people sign up. When you arrive at the ferry port the morning of your excursion, I recommend getting some sandwiches to go from the cafe and wait for the ferry with the other travelers. We will start to congregate at the port. If you're able, stand on the right side of the boat for excellent views of sea stack rock formations. While this ferry brings supplies to the island and is essential for the people who live here, it has more tour boat qualities than any ferry you've ever been on, and you'll almost certainly get your money's worth. The ferry is about 45 minutes each way, costs 120 Danish krone for round trip, which comes out to about $17 per person. Once you arrive at Mykines, you'll disembark and make your way up the stairs from the port nestled into the bird cliffs of the island. Shortly after you reach the top of the steps and take a right, you'll encounter a local ready to collect your hiking fee. This fee helps with the maintenance of the island. You can pay it by credit card for 250 Danish krone, or about $35 per person. While most people make their way directly up to the bird cliffs to the left of the path, we prefer to avoid crowds and explored the eastern part of the island first. We saw the picturesque town, more of the ever-present Faroese sheep, including this guy, and explored the hills. And we ate our packed lunches from a peaceful vista. After lunch, we made our way back to the puffin colony along the cliffs on the northwest side of the island. Arriving at the puffin colony, you'll start to see a few puffins at a time until you see dozens and dozens of them hanging out. They're such interesting looking birds shaped like little footballs with their little flappy wings. We just sat on the hill watching them for as long as we could and had the area mostly to ourselves. We visited in July of 2022, the year after the sea cliff collapse that shut down a good portion of the area the puffins inhabit. So I was concerned we wouldn't see many, but I was not disappointed. There were still so many puffins. As our ferry departure approached, we made our way back down the hill into town, where we got a snack, some Faroese Pilsner, a local cafe. About 15 minutes before the ferry was scheduled to arrive, we headed back to the ferry port, where folks were lining up, sitting on the steps we climbed to make it into town. When the ferry arrived, we watched it unload supplies for the island and use the pulley system to pull them up the hill. On the ferry back, the water was calm enough for the captain to really show off, bringing us into a tight cove tucked behind a sea stack, where we saw even more puffins nesting in the sea cliffs around us. So if you're planning a trip to the Faroe Islands and want to experience beautiful surroundings and wildlife, make sure to add Mykines to your itinerary. While only about 20,000 people get to visit each year, you don't want to miss the chance to be one of them. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please like and subscribe to stay up to date when new videos are published, including more guides to the Faroe Islands.